Welcome, traveler. You've crossed into legend, a place where the gods rule the skies and fire plots its revenge. This is the Saga of Skaldir, the flame-blooded, born under a cursed star, banished by the gods, chosen by fate. If you believe in destiny, if you hunger for power, betrayal, and myth, then this story is for you. So strike the like button like it's Thor's hammer, and subscribe so you never miss what comes next. The flames have been waiting, now they rise. In the land where frost bites bone and time moves slow, there was a village, carved into the base of the icy cliffs of Jotunheim Hollow, a place forgotten by most gods and feared by men. The wind howled like wolves through the mountains, and the sky rarely saw the sun. It was on the night of a red eclipse, when the moon bled and the stars vanished, that a woman named Vigdis went into labor. She screamed through the night. No midwife could help her. The child inside burned her from within. At dawn, when the first sliver of light returned, her body lay cold. If the child lived, he did not cry, he did not shiver, he steamed. His skin was pale like ash, but his veins glowed faintly orange, like smouldering coal beneath frost. His eyes were dark and quiet, and when the village elder saw him, he whispered, "This child carries Muspelheim in his blood." They named him Skaldir, which meant one who burns with silence. As Skaldir grew, strange things happened. The snow around him melted when he cried. Wolves avoided him. His breath was warm even in the dead of night. When he was 7, a bully tried to push him into a frozen stream. Skaldir didn't hit him, he just looked at him, and the boy's clothes caught fire. From that day, the village gave him space. Too much space. He became a ghost among the living, feared, watched, whispered about. But far above Midgard in Asgard, the gods watched too. Odin, the All-Father, peered into the threads of fate with his one eye and saw a vision. A boy of flame, wielding a sword of fire, climbing Yggdrasil and breaking the Bifrost with a scream of vengeance. It was Skaldir. Odin summoned the Valkyrie Kara and said, "He must be silenced before the flame finds the wind." When Skaldir turned 16, the Valkyries came. They descended at night, like streaks of silver and death across the sky. But they found something unexpected. The boy had forged a weapon. From the core of a fallen meteor and a river of volcanic glass, Skaldir had crafted a blade that pulsed with inner fire. He called it Brenbane, the fire that cuts through ice. He killed the first Valkyrie before she landed. The second pierced his shoulder, but melted before she could scream. The last looked him in the eye and whispered, "The gods were right to fear you," and fled. Skaldir didn't wait for them to return. He wandered for days, alone, drawn by the whisper of something older than fear, something beneath the world. And there it stood, Yggdrasil, the world tree, its roots tangled with rivers of lava and bones of the ancient dead, its trunk stretched into storms. He climbed it, through mist and cold and thunder. It was said that no mortal could even touch the tree without going mad. But Skaldir was no mere mortal. He was born of flame and loss. At the peak, where the clouds parted and the rainbow Bifrost bridge shimmered above him, Skaldir met Thor, god of thunder. Thor laughed at him, at first. "You, a boy with a glowing stick?" But then Brenbane clashed with Mjolnir, and thunder met fire. The fight shattered the sky. Lightning scorched the clouds. Fire carved the air into molten shards. The Bifrost cracked, and the earth below trembled. Skaldir burned Thor's beard off. Thor shattered Brenbane's hilt. But in the end, the god was stronger. He brought his hammer down with a cry of fury, and Skaldir fell. As he lay dying on the edge of Asgard, broken, coughing smoke, Odin appeared. The All-Father looked into the boy's eyes and said, "You were a spark, dangerous, but a spark nonetheless." But Skaldir smiled and said, "You made me this way, and now, you've only fed the flame." His body burned to ash, but his soul did not pass on. It sank, through the realms, and settled deep in the molten roots of the world, where it waited for the day it would rise again. Centuries passed. The tale of Skaldir was reduced to whispers told by mead-soaked old men in smoky halls. A bedtime warning, a cautionary myth, but legends are not buried, only waiting. Far to the east, on the black edge of the Dvergar ruins, there was a storm, not of rain, but of fire, lightning, and screams. A woman cried out as flames danced through her veins, and from her body came a girl. She did not cry. The midwife dropped the newborn. Her eyes, by Freya's tears, they burn. Her name was Yrsa, the last of Skaldir's bloodline. Raised among the ruins of a long-dead world, Yrsa never fit in. Animals avoided her. Water hissed against her skin. Nightmares haunted her. She saw visions, burning swords, dying gods, and a voice that spoke from ash. Child of fire, the blood remembers. On her 16th winter, a frost giant named Frolder razed her village. No one could stop him. Yrsa stood frozen in the snow as her friends screamed. And then, it happened. Her heart ignited. Fire exploded from her hands, melting Frolder's axe, burning his flesh. She screamed, not in fear, but with ancestral rage. Her body burned, but she didn't blister. Instead, her left hand glowed. In her palm, a molten sigil, Thor's rune. The flame of Skaldir had awakened. Up in Asgard, change had come. Odin had vanished into the void. Thor, weakened by past battle, wandered Midgard in silence. And Loki now sat upon the throne. He wore a smile like a weapon and ruled through secrets and silk. When he felt Brenbane's resurrection, his eye twitched. "The girl burns," he murmured, "just like the boy did." He summoned the ravens of deceit and sent them across the realms, not to kill Yrsa, but to watch her become what Skaldir could not. "Let the fire rise again," Loki whispered. "I'll drown it myself." Yrsa, with Brenbane reforged and Skaldir's soul echoing in her thoughts, began her quest. She would walk the 9 realms, gathering the ancient fragments of Muspel's flame, the source of her ancestors' power. But each realm was guarded by a trial. In Niflheim, the dead whisper her sins. In Alfheim, the elves test her mercy. In Vanaheim, a seer shows her the future, and it ends in flame. In Muspelheim, she meets her kin, and their king wants her throne. As she battles, Yrsa begins to doubt the tale of her ancestor. Skaldir, the cursed hero once seen as a martyr, was ruthless. He burned villages. He wanted not justice, but revenge. She confronts his spirit in a dream. "You were supposed to protect them," she cries, "not destroy what they feared." Skaldir's ghost, now just smoke and sorrow, replies, "I was fire without form. You must be more." In Alfheim, she meets Solvi, a light elf warrior who once loved Skaldir, centuries ago, when he hid among the elves before his final battle. Solvi sees Skaldir in Yrsa's fire and warns her, "You are not him. Do not become him." Yet Brenbane pulses with rage. The sword remembers. The fire grows stronger, and the voice inside her becomes louder. Loki's web by now, Loki has grown bold. He appears before Yrsa not with a blade, but with an offer. "Join me. Sit beside me on the throne. The flame can rule, not just rage." He shows her visions. A world without gods. Mortals free. Her crowned in fire and adored. Branbane flickers. Skaldir's soul pulls her toward vengeance. But Yrsa steps back. "I am not your weapon." Loki narrows his eyes. "No, but you're still his." In her moment of defiance, Loki strikes. He shatters Brenbane once more. Not with force, but with a curse. The sword turns black. The fire inside her flickers. Yrsa is cast into Helheim, the realm of the forgotten. The gods think her flame has died again, but in the cold tomb of death, a voice rises. "You've learned mercy. You've resisted rage. Now learn the truth of fire." And in the heart of Helheim, a flame reignites, brighter than before. Not born of hate, but of balance. The 9 trials of Yrsa, Helheim, realm of shadows and silence. Yrsa stood alone in the land of the dead, where no fire burns and no song is sung. The cold here did not bite, it emptied. Her skin, once marked with flame, now shimmered pale, like the last ember of a dying hearth. Here, the forgotten wander, and Yrsa had joined them. But not all was still. Deep in the underbelly of Helheim, something stirred. Something ancient, something older than death. The Keeper of Echoes. From the mists came a figure wrapped in bones and smoke. Verund, Keeper of Echoes. He carried no sword, only a staff carved from the roots of Yggdrasil itself. "Flame Daughter, why have you come?" "I was cast down," she replied. "No," he said, "you were sent." He raised his staff and the mists cleared. Before her, 9 gates shimmered like ice-rimmed mirrors, each leading to a different realm, each containing a trial. One for every realm she must master. Fire alone cannot win. You must be tested in each realm, not by gods, but by their forgotten truths. And so, the 9 trials of Yrsa began. Trial M. Niflheim, realm of ice and memory. Here, Yrsa walked among the dead, not as a warrior, but as one of them. She heard voices whisper from the fog. "You killed them. You failed them." Shades of her village, of Skaldir, of those she had burned unintentionally in her early awakening. The guilt gnawed at her. To pass, she had to confront the wraith of her mother, who offered her a dagger made of frost. End the fire, child. Let the pain end. Ursa knelt. Tears turned to ice on her face, but she placed the dagger down. The fire is not mine to end. It is mine to guide. The realm bowed. She passed. Chas, Trial 2. Alfheim, realm of light and beauty. Alfheim welcomed her with illusions of peace. The elves offered her a life of comfort, of love, of quiet. Solvi, now a gleaming memory, appeared again, whole and smiling. Stay, be free of war, let the gods fall without you. But beauty without purpose is a trap. Yrsa saw through it. The light flickered. The elf lords hissed, revealing themselves as Elendur, a corrupted light elf who once betrayed Skaldir. They dueled beneath a golden tree. Yrsa refused to kill him. Mercy is not weakness, it is power restrained. She passed. Trial 3. Vanaheim, realm of prophecy and peace. In Vanaheim, Yrsa drank from the well of visions. She saw the end, herself burning the 9 realms. Gods falling, mortals kneeling, a crown of flame on her head. And a voice, her own, whispered, "Burn it all. Let the gods learn pain." But she also saw another future, one of rebuilding, of guiding, of balance. "I choose neither fate," she said. "I choose the path I make." And with that, the 3rd trial ended. Trial 4, Nidavella, realm of dwarves. Here she was asked to forge a new weapon, not with fire, but with will. The dwarves mocked her. "You are no smith. You are a torch in wind." But she toiled, she bled, she crafted with bare hands until the steel sang. From molten ore and echoes of Brenbane's soul, she forged Vedabani, the Stormbreaker, a blade balanced, forged not to destroy, but to guide power. The dwarves bowed in respect. Trial passed. Trial Fee, Jotunheim, realm of giants. Here, she met Frolder's brother, Hrorg, a giant of storms and sorrow. He challenged her, not to combat, but to carry his grief, in a ritual called the Burdening. For 3 days, she carried his memories, centuries of betrayal, gods killing his kin, the burning of his lands by Skaldir. She wept with his pain. "You have flame," Hrorg said, "but you also have heart." He gave her a crystal tear. For when fire is not enough. Trial passed. Trial 6. Svartalfaheimer, realm of dark elves. A realm of shadow and mischief. Here, illusions twisted Yrsa's mind. She was shown her darkest self. A tyrant in flame armor, enslaving gods, burning innocent cities. To escape, she had to forgive herself. For the past, the burns, the deaths. "I am not perfect, I am not pure, but I am trying." The shadows shattered. She passed. Trial 7. Helheim, return. Returning where she began, Yrsa was now not a prisoner, but a guest. Vairun met her again. "Now you carry truth, but do you carry hope?" He gave her the crown of ash, a simple black circlet made of burnt Yggdrasil bark. A ruler need not sit on a throne. Sometimes they walk through fire. She accepted it, not as a queen, but as a guardian. Trial passed. Trial 8, Muspelheim, realm of flame. Here the flame ran wild. The Fire King Surtur's heir Keldon challenged Yrsa. "You bear the flame but do not command it. Prove you are one of us." They clashed beneath a burning sky, but Yrsa did not destroy him. Instead, she ignited both their flames in unison, showing him unity between destruction and control. Keldon knelt. "Then rise, Flame Queen. Muspelheim is yours." She passed. Trial 9. Asgard, realm of the gods. The final realm. Yrsa returned to the Golden Halls, not as a threat, but as a warning. She did not come to fight. She came to speak. Thor stood, silent. Wounded, Frigg watched with sorrow. "And Loki?" Loki laughed. "So you've grown filing." Yrsa raised Vedrabani. "I bring flame not to burn, but to light the truth." "Your reign is a lie, Loki," he struck. And Yrsa, having passed the 9 trials, held her ground. Fire met trickery, heart met deceit, and light broke the illusion. Asgard golden and hollow, the throne of Odin stood vacant, long abandoned. In its place, Loki sat, draped in illusion, a crown of lies upon his head, his eyes glittering with madness and mirth. But the lies had begun to crumble. Yrsa stood at the gates of Asgard, her blade Vedrabani humming with heat, her soul tempered by the 9 trials, and beside her came those she'd earned, the tear of Hrorg, heavy with sorrow, the storm crystal of Nidavellir, the crown of ash from Helheim. She carried truth, she carried flame, and Loki carried secrets. Loki did not greet her with armies. He welcomed her with a feast, Come, fire child, eat, drink, let us laugh before the burning. The halls filled with echoes of Skaldir's voice, distorted and cruel. She let me die, you know, said the illusion of Skaldir. She burned my memory. Yrsa clutched her blade but did not strike. I carry his fire, not his shadow. Your tricks will not blind me, Loki. The feast vanished. Loki's grin widened. Then let us play. One final game. Loki conjured the Chamber of Masks, a pocket realm where truth and lie battled in equal measure. He split himself into 9 versions, each wearing a different mask. Deceiver, father, martyr, hero, coward, lover, monster, child, and god. Strike the truth, flame-blooded, the 9 voices called, or be lost in the false. Yrsa walked among them. They all told convincing tales, but she had learned. She placed her hand on each mask and listened, not with ears, but with memory. The true Loki would never beg. The true Loki hides pain in laughter. The true Loki lies most to himself. She struck the monster mask, and beneath it, no face. The true Loki was not there. You've grown, a voice whispered behind her. The real Loki stood at the exit, eyes hollow. Then come, Yrsa, let's burn the world together. The skies above Asgard ignited. Yrsa, wrapped in white flame, soared like a phoenix reborn. Loki, wielding the stolen scepter of Odin, cast spells from the void. Storms clashed with flame, each blow shook the Bifrost. Mortals gazed up and saw stars fall. Loki summoned the final illusion. Skaldir, alive and begging. Don't kill him, Yrsa, please. You need your father. And for the first time she trembled, but she stepped forward. I do not need a father. I am the daughter of fire and pain, and I carry them both with pride. With a cry that shook all 9 realms, she drove Veterbani through the illusion. The scepter shattered. Loki screamed not from pain, but from release. You saw me, even now. Yrsa did not kill him. She bound Loki with chains of ashen truth, forged in her 9 trials. You will live, trickster, to see the world rebuilt without your lies. Asgard, long corrupted, began to break. And from its ruins, roots of Yggdrasil sprouted anew. The gods who remained, Frigg, Tyr, even the fading shade of Balder, came to Yrsa. They offered her the throne, but she refused. I am not a queen, I am the keeper of flame. Not to rule, but to remind. She vanished that day, into the mist between realms. Some say she became a flame within Yggdrasil itself. Others say she walks among mortals, guiding lost souls. And some, the brave, the desperate, the broken, say if you speak her name in fire, she comes. Yrsa flame-blooded, the breaker of gods. The heir of Skaldir, a legend, a warning, a beginning.